said that, and then as soon as I said, it said, do you want me to call the show and sell it or carry I'm asking? And then the guy comes up and goes, and he's like, that's fine. He's like, that's what I do, so it's fine. I'm like, do you see my whole fucking wallet, lady? And then she's like, yeah, take off the, and it's like more than anything. She goes, it's with everything. It's funny, I've been on the balloons, and all they need is the translation. The other two guys are very nice. I said, the only thing I was carrying is me. That's it, okay? Anyway, it's more. Oh, you are? Oh, you are? Oh, but you're not shit. Oh, yeah. We were like we were in summer color. I don't know. He was drenched in sweat, and he was just behind us. I love my God, you ran here 7 miles. This girl's house, and had a great body. You go there. We should.
6-year-old just leaning against the front.
Okay, guys, we're going to get started if everyone's good to go. Okay, I'm Carrie Adamowski, the Public Affairs Officer for the U.S. Attorney's Office. First, you're going to be hearing from our U.S. Attorney, Jacqueline Romero, and then ATF SAC Eric Hickman, and then Philly Police First Deputy Commissioner John Stanton. Thanks for being here, and we'll get started.
You guys don't do mug shots on the arrests here, right? Okay.
Good morning. I'm the United States Attorney Jacqueline Romero, and I'm proud to stand here with my partners to announce the recent takedown of a drug trafficking organization that was operating out of Philadelphia's Fair Hill section for at least the last year and a half. The investigation, which is ongoing, has been led by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Philadelphia Field Division and the Philadelphia Police Department. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service, the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General, Bureau of Narcotics Investigation, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the Pennsylvania National Guard each played a key part in the investigation. First, let me give you the big picture. 12 defendants have been charged with a total of 84 counts in this case. 10 of those people have been arrested. One person is awaiting transfer from another state, and one person is a fugitive. During the investigation and recent arrests, some 57 guns were bought or seized. Those guns include privately manufactured firearms, also known as ghost guns, assault-style rifles, stolen guns, pistols, and machine gun conversion devices, also known as switches or Glock switches. The investigation resulted in the purchase or seizure of more than 2 kilograms of cocaine and 19,000 packets of fentanyl, which amounts to over 50,000 potentially fatal doses of fentanyl. Now, as to who's been charged and how they operated. As alleged in the indictment, from at least February 2023 until his arrest last week, Wilfredo Avila led this drug trafficking organization, or what we call DTO, which was active in Fair Hill and surrounding neighborhoods. Members of the Avila DTO sold significant quantities of packaged fentanyl, fentanyl pills, and cocaine. They pushed their poison in the area of the 2900 block of Lawrence Street, the 3300 block of North American Street, and elsewhere throughout the city. The DTO used various residences and properties as stash houses to store, process, and package their drugs for distribution, including locations at 3347 North American Street and 228 West Mentor Street. Last week, as a result of the investigation, agents searched 14 different locations in the area that were used by the Avila DTO in some manner for their crimes. In addition to Avila himself, numerous individuals, including defendants Zeta Diaz, Abdul Ortiz, and Ahmed Perez, allegedly engaged in drug sales for the organization. Meantime, defendants Chanel Diaz Oscar and Leonardo Minaya Lebron were allegedly among the DTO's cadre of drug suppliers. Members of the Avila DTO routinely carried and used guns to protect their trafficking activities and defend their turf. However, not only did the Avila DTO push drugs onto Philly's streets and carried and used guns while doing so, it also dealt in guns, selling all types of firearms to its drug dealer customers. Ultimately, I hope this takedown underscores the United States Attorney's Office's commitment to tackling the dual and deadly threats of narcotics and firearms, and to holding the perpetrators accountable. And I hope it sends a message to all of the other drug and gun traffickers and would-be drug and gun traffickers who are out there. My message is clear. You're next. One final thing I'd like to highlight, very important. This case is being prosecuted by Special Assistant United States Attorney David Osborne. Special Assistant U.S. attorneys are prosecutors who are on loan from other prosecutors' offices and work right here in our office handling federal cases. David is an experienced local homicide prosecutor who was hired by the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office precisely to work with us on gun cases, thanks to a federal grant via the Project Safe Neighborhoods program. These types of arrangements allow us to have prosecutors specifically focused on firearms prosecutions and focused on certain high-crime neighborhoods like Fair Hill and Kensington. The PSN initiative brings together all levels of law enforcement and the communities they serve to reduce violent crime and gun violence. And this case is a prime example of the successful collaborations we're seeing among our local, state, and federal partners. These critical collaborations begin with beat cops and experienced detectives and agents telling us where we need to be and who we need to focus on. Each of the agencies that are standing here with me today played a significant role in taking down the Avila DTO and protecting the people of Philadelphia. Thank you. And now some remarks from Eric Degree, ATF Special Agent in Charge.
Good morning. My name is Eric Degree. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of the ATF's Philadelphia Field Division. The ATF Philadelphia Field Division is committed to support the Philadelphia Police Department's efforts to tamper the drug-fueled violence plaguing the Kensington and Fair Hill sections of Philadelphia, as well as help the community there. Last week's operation is a tangible example of that commitment. It is also another example of our long history of working with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners to prevent, investigate, prosecute the crime that plagues so many of our communities. In this case, I want to particularly thank all the partners that you see on the stage today. We would not be able to conduct this investigation without all of their substantial help. This operation is a result of a complex 18-month investigation focusing on the deadly combination of gun and firearms trafficking in Philadelphia. Our law enforcement teams went to 14 locations, executed multiple federal search and arrest warrants, and arrested over 12 suspects. Over the course of this investigation, we were able to remove approximately 50,000 fatal doses of fentanyl, 2 kilograms of cocaine, a total of 57 firearms, including multiple personally made firearms, also known as PMFs, 5.56 and .223 caliber rifles, pistols with extended magazines, stolen firearms, and thousands of rounds of ammunition as well as a machine gun conversion device, also known as a switch. We are applying our unique ATF crime gun intelligence tools to link these guns that we seize to other crimes. These tools include our National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, or NIBIN, which is a nationwide collection of digital images of fired cartridge casings taken from crime scenes that help us link other shootings together. Another tool we are using is our eTrace firearms tracing system, which together with NIBIN will help us solve crimes and identify trends. As stated earlier, this is also the first time in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania we are seeking prosecution under the new Bipartisan Safer Communities Act regarding firearms trafficking. This law makes firearms trafficking punishable for up to 15 years in federal prison. In closing, while this operation last week was completed, the overall investigation is still ongoing. This case is really just another step in our ongoing cooperation to make our communities safer. We will continue working with our partners to stem the flow of drugs and guns into law-abiding communities by aggressively pursuing and prosecuting those who traffic them. I'd like to introduce First Deputy Commissioner John Stanford.
Good morning. I'm First Deputy Commissioner John Stanford, Philadelphia Police Department. First and foremost, on behalf of Commissioner Bethel and Mayor Parker, I want to say thank you. Thank you to our partners here, because this is what you often hear the mayor speak about, is working on a united front, working as a united team, and all about being one in terms of for the safety of our citizens here in Philadelphia. And I think you just heard that outlined by the United States Attorney Romero and Special Agent in Charge Degree as to the collaborative work that has been ongoing and that will continue. Based on that work and our men and women that are assigned to the task force, they've been able to take some very, very harmful individuals off the street. And that's the kind of work that we need to continue. That's the kind of success that we need to have in this city in order to see the violent crime reduce as we have seen. But that's our ultimate goal, is to continue to drive down this type of violence and the individuals that are responsible for it. You heard the U.S. Attorney say, you're next. And that's often the question of who's next. If you're engaging in this type of activity, please understand that you are next, because this is the type of behavior that we can no longer stand for and that we cannot have happening in our city. And so, again, just want to thank you for the work, the collaborative work that's been going on. We truly appreciate it and continue to look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, FDC Stanford. As I mentioned, the investigation is ongoing, so we're limited in certain ways about how much more we can say, but we're happy to take some questions at this point. Yes?
Are any of these specific defendants linked to any shootings or homicides that you know about?
We're still in the process of tracing the guns that were seized, and there'll be more on that. We're going to follow the facts and follow the law as appropriate, but more to come.
Is it fair to say, following up on that question, that no one that was arrested here is facing specific, like, state-level charges for shootings or homicides, at least in Philadelphia, that we're aware of?
I'm not certain at this point if there may be other cases where they've been charged. I don't know.
Can you identify, you mentioned one person's a fugitive, one is still awaiting a transfer here, like who that is on this journey?
Yeah, so the fugitive is Ahmed Perez, is it? Perez is our fugitive. The person that we're waiting transfer, who? Angel Velez.
And where's that from?
Do you know where?
Nearby state.
Yes.
Can you just give us an idea of, like, perspective of how big of a bust that this is? Recently, we've obviously been covering Kensington a lot. There was, for example, a mid-level drug dealer that was arrested on state charges a few weeks ago. Like, how much of an impact is this, could people potentially see in Kensington as far as drug activity?
I mean, I wish I could say, I think the facts speak for themselves. We're 57 guns that are off of the streets, 50,000 potential fatal doses of fentanyl that are off of the streets, and a significant group of folks who were very active. So what is the impact we're going to see on the daily? I think the people of Kensington can speak to that, but it's a fairly significant takedown.
I don't know if this is more for Deputy Commissioner Sanford, but oftentimes we know that when these things happen, kind of following up on that question, these takedowns happen, it's many thoroughfare on the street when they were controlling certain blocks. We can see an uptick of violence in those areas because the territory needs to be taken over. Are you, maybe the Philadelphia police maybe more so, are you guys kind of surveying that area more? Are you looking at any of the crime trends?
So that's an ongoing process, right? In terms of, we know that whether it be at this level or just the work that our people are doing out there every day. Listen, East Division is a very lucrative business, and it relates to the narcotic trade. And so that's one component of it that we monitor as we make these type of busts or any type of large impact in that area. We are concerned, and when I say concerned, it's a part of what we do every day of making sure that we are monitoring. As the work itself is shifting, meaning that if we see displacement activity, but also if we see that there is a battle for any specific corner, that's a part of what we do. A big part of that also is moving forward, as you see the work we're doing in Kensington, is going to be how do we sustain those areas, because that's going to be the key of helping us move forward and transitioning that neighborhood completely. And so that all ties into the work. So yeah, we are monitoring that. We will continue to monitor that and see how that goes.
Yes.
Is anybody expected to be deported? Is there anybody who's illegally in the United States that are in
We can't really speculate on that at this point in time. Investigation's ongoing. Well, if that's all, thank you very much. Appreciate it.